Hi everybody, Golden Era Bookworm here, and today we are going to look at how Vince Gironda helped Carl Weathers shape up and cut his physique for the role of Apollo Creed in the epic Rocky film saga. When Rocky hit the cinema screen back in the mid to late 1970s, critics over the world acclaimed the film as having the most exciting fight scene ever created for the screen. Of course, referring to the last minutes of the film, now infamously called The Fight. When Rocky burst through the screen, the contrasting roles of Stallone, who's shown in the film through his undeniable talent as the credible character of Rocky, uneducated but kind-hearted working-class Italian-American boxer working as a debt collector for a loan shark in the slums of Philadelphia, who, facing incredible odds, takes a shot at the heavyweight title of the world against the powerful and charismatic character of Apollo Creed. The most amazing thing is, though, that Carl Weathers' training with Vince Gironda for the role of Apollo Creed was so good that critics actually thought he was a real fighter and not an actor. It is said that initially the film producers ignored Weathers until he finally begged and pleaded his case and got an appointment. When they asked Carl if he had any boxing experience, which he didn't, Carl tried to fool them, and then one of the producers asked him to take off his shirt. And that clinched it. He landed the part as soon as they saw his absolutely ripped physique. Carl's body looked like a boxer's body and like the body of the heavyweight champion of the world. Vince had been able to transform a relative no-name actor to one of the most iconic roles in boxing film history. After making his move to LA, Carl Weathers joined Vince's gym to begin sculpting his body. He trained under the tutelage of the Iron Guru for 2 years before he landed the role of Apollo Creed. Carl employed a routine similar to the peripheral heart action system made popular years ago by Mr. Universe Bob Guider, but using the unique exercises taught by Vince Gironda. In many ways, Carl trained using the program designed by Vince Gironda that he used to get movie stars ready for their movie roles. As Carl stated in an article in 1977, "It's a great system for building hard muscle. I pick out 6 to 7 exercises that will work the whole body. I perform sets, but not in the usual way. That is, I start with maybe a chest movement, go on to a leg movement, then something for the shoulders, until I have done one set of every movement in my program without pausing, as is the case in the usual fashion. When I have done 6 or 7 exercises, I take a short rest and repeat the cycle. I do this cycle 6 times, sometimes more. The idea here is to work as fast as possible. I get a great muscle pump and it's good for my cardiovascular too. I like to grind out the reps." End quote. Now, Vince's program of How I Train the Movie Stars, which was a circuit-based program used to get the movie stars in shape in record time, was essentially the same program that Carl Weathers was using, except he would train each circuit at least 6 times, training once a day. Considering that in the program How I Train the Movie Stars, Vince had his clients training 5 circuits only once a week, it is easy to see why Vince regarded Carl Weathers as an incredible athlete. Even once stating that if Carl Weathers really wanted to, he could have become a professional bodybuilder. Such was his incredible genetic potential, and judging from the photos and footage of Carl in his many movie roles, such as Apollo Creed in Rocky, and Dylan, of course, in Predator, it is easy to see why. Carl would perform 6 circuits daily, at least for 6 days a week, training with super intensity. Carl, however, was never to become a bodybuilder. Neither did he have the ambition, as he, in his own words, considered himself an actor. To quote Carl, "I work at keeping my muscle size down. It would be the easiest thing in the world for me to gain 15 more pounds of hard muscle. Right now, I tip the scale at 220 at a height of 6 foot 2 inches. I am not interested in bodybuilding in the way, say, Arnold Schwarzenegger does it. I am first and foremost an actor." As Carl mentioned, he only used up to 7 exercises, and these would have been very similar to those used by other movie stars following Vince's How I Trained the Movie Stars program, as is listed. Carl was also known to use other exercises like leg extensions, easy barbell curls, crunches, seated dumbbell raises, and many of the other exercises that Vince Gironda taught him to shape his physique whilst training at Vince's gym. Most of which can be found, of course, in the Wild Physique. Most of the exercises that Vince taught would emphasize certain parts of the target muscle with the goal of accentuating certain lines to achieve the desired look, and that, of course, is of a classic physique. If we look at Carl's diet now, well, Carl's diet actually, he was strictly a vegetarian where he would focus on eggs and dairy as protein sources, eating lots of fresh fruits and vegetables and whole grains. Vince, of course, also advocated vegetarian diets, especially during a cutting phase for obtaining maximum definition, as with his lacto-ovo-vegetarian diet. Interestingly, Carl Weathers was set to compete in the Mr. California contest during the mid-1970s, but his appearance in Rocky prevented that from ever happening. And I personally believe that that would have been awesome to watch Carl Weathers, Vince's student, actually compete in Mr. California. It would have been really interesting to see how he would have performed in a bodybuilding contest, judging from, of course, the photos that still exist of Carl looking in top shape. And what was Carl's opinion of Vince Gironda? Well, let's put it this way. The night he appeared on the Mike Douglas show with Stallone, he wore a spanking new training shirt with the word Vince's clearly showing on his chest. And that was some heavy advertising. But Carl did it for free. To quote Carl, "Yes, it was all for free and millions of people must have seen it. That's how much I think of Vince." End quote. The next morning, a sign appeared on Vince's gym notice board reading, "Carl Weathers, we salute you." So, that kind of really sums up the relationship that Vince Gironda had with Carl Weathers. Truly, they were great friends. And Carl obviously reaped the benefits of training at Vince's gym under the tutelage of Vince Gironda. So I do hope you have enjoyed this rare look at the training and diet program of Apollo Creed. If you have enjoyed this video, please give the video a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't done so, and leave me your comments. In reading this article, it definitely has become very clear to me as to how many of these movie stars truly appreciated Vince Gironda, the Iron Guru. He was truly the master blaster. Anyway, hope you have enjoyed the video. That's it from me. This is the Golden Era Bookworm saying bye for now. Now, if you're interested in learning more about Vince Gironda's approach to bodybuilding, his principles, and all these tips of wisdom that he has, there's so much stuff that probably hasn't been proven by science, and it will take science to prove or disprove Vince. But to be honest, these 3 books, I believe, which I call the Classic Physique Bundle, are the best books that Vince ever came out with. And they, of course, are the Wild Physique, the Master Series, and the Pro Series. Have a look at it this way. The Wild Physique, I believe, is like the ABCs of Vince Gironda's principles to bodybuilding. He teaches you the exercises and his principles. But how do you put them together? Well, the Master Series is a 14-month program of using all of these principles, all of the diets that Vince came out with, all of the exercises. And believe me, it's a brilliant, brilliant program. Many people have used it. I know personally a lot of bodybuilders that have actually used it and made fantastic results with it. And of course, the Pro Series was a book that he came out with later on, specially targeted for getting into competition. It's just these 3 books, as I call it, the Classic Physique Bundle, Vince's best work, and available, of course, at www.goldenerabookworm.com. Now, the Pro Series of Bodybuilding, which was targeted for professional bodybuilders, contains 6 programs, each of which go for 2 months each. So it's a whole year, again, in preparation for competition. Need a bodybuilding poster for your gym or office? Then check out Ironman Magazine archive.smugmug.com for the highest quality posters on the planet. Scroll through the galleries of all the legends, including greats such as Arnold, Frank Zane, Sergio Oliva, Serge Nubret, Tom Platz, and Larry Scott, and much, much more, and select your poster now. To support your favorite YouTube channel, please visit teespring.com/stores/Golden Era Bookworm for merchandise including t-shirts, hoodies, face masks, phone cases, and much, much more. Once again at teespring.com/stores/Golden Era Bookworm. Become a patron at www.patreon.com/Golden Era Bookworm for hard to find books, scans of rare photos, and articles on the golden era of bodybuilding.
The golden era of bodybuilding was born on the sandy platforms, rusty rings, and blistering high bars of Muscle Beach, where young men and women performed feats of strength and gymnastics, igniting a fitness boom that would reverberate for decades. By the 60s and 70s, the golden era was in full form, spreading like wildfire, and engulfing a new generation of bodybuilders who wanted nothing more than an all-natural, well-rounded physique. This lifelong pursuit of physical perfection created legends, including a young Arnold Schwarzenegger and Lou Ferrigno. NSP will be by your side to help you achieve your personal health and fitness goals. That's how we maintain the spirit of the Golden Era champions and honor the legacy of our founder, Vince Gironda. Simply put, our customers trust NSP Nutrition, and they appreciate what we stand for. Once you become a customer, you become part of the NSP family. This is NSP's commitment to you.